tell the story about how we got the show banned from College Game Day. As someone who played a role, Charlie says, it makes me proud. Hashtag producer Jesse isn't real. I can only vouch for one of these things totally, and that is, yeah, we kind of sort of accidentally got the show banned from College Game Day. Here's what I need to tell you first and foremost. And if you're watching on YouTube, which I highly advise you to do, you are seeing some of the highlights. I am a traditionalist. I grew up watching College Game Day. I appreciate the fabric of this sport. I appreciate the legacy aspects of this sport. I'm not some revolutionary. I'm not a counterculture guy. So the last thing on this planet I have ever tried to do is take an institution like College Game Day and wreck it. But at the same time, this is America, and I cannot control what our audience does. And so here was the real. As you know, famously, we have a $0 marketing budget on this show. So I may have, once upon a time, at some point last August, whispered into this microphone, you know, it'd be cool if we got a late kick sign on College Game Day. Notice, singular, a late kick sign. That's all I was going for. If we could just get our brand visible there once, hey, we've paid for our entire year's worth of a marketing budget. Well, I don't know that I've ever asked our audience to do something that they didn't tenfold over deliver on. This was more like a 100-fold over deliverance. So there we sit in Charlotte, North Carolina, week 1. Game Day was there. It was Georgia, Clemson, and there we are. We got a couple of Pate State signs. We got some late kick signs on the broadcast. I'm so happy. All's well that ends well. And I even took one of these bad boys, a chalice of supremacy. More on this in a second. And I promised one of these to anyone who got our logo on College Game Day. And you can't see it, but engraved on these, actually maybe if I turn it that way, yeah, there's the Pate State logo. Well, here was the problem. I expected to have to give away one of those. We had like 9 the first week. And so then, week 2, I'm in Ames, Iowa for Iowa versus Iowa State. College Game Day is in Ames, Iowa for Iowa, Iowa State. Ashton Kutcher is the guest celebrity picker. But when I had screenshots sent to in my hotel room as I was packing up and headed to the stadium, it wasn't of Ashton Kutcher. It was of one of you with a big, fat poster board with a late kick right over his right shoulder, TV left, stage left, and I cannot tell you how many of you tagged me in that, and that wasn't the only one there that day. Then the next week, where were they? They were at Auburn, Penn State, so were we. I view it as Game Day followed us early in the season. You can also say we followed Game Day. Several of you in State College showed out. This is when the poster patrol started to take notice, I've been told since. And so we got ourselves some more recognition, and the chali, I mean, this was going to be a singular thing. I was going to give away a chalice of supremacy. All of a sudden, we're racking up chali of supremacy, which of course is the plural of chalice. And boy, the price tag, we may have a $0 marketing budget. The chali budget went through the roof after week 4 of College Game Day. Week 5, they were in Chicago for Notre Dame, Wisconsin. I think we got a couple on air then. But week 6 is when it went down. So week 6, it's Arkansas at Georgia. And Game Day is in Athens. And so were you. And I think it felt like millions. It easily was dozens of Game Day signs that were on air. And I'm over the moon. You know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking on one hand, man, it's kind of a little bit ridiculous. But on the other hand, hey, look, Pate State, hey, that's my face on that poster. Well, then about 11 a.m., the iJosh lights up like a Christmas tree, kind of like it is right now, as a matter of fact, from disrespectful friends who know I'm on air. And that morning, what it was a bunch of Twitter and Instagram DMs from you guys, and you were irate. A bunch of all caps DMs that morning. And what you were telling me was, my sign just got taken. My poster just got taken. Hey, my entire display just got taken. And then came the creme de la creme, and I don't have a picture of this, but one of you were able to get a snapshot of this huge pile of late kick posters that the poster patrol at College Game Day, security in your world, came and took, and they just made a little mountain of them. And then one of you was so bold as to sneak behind the barrier and get your poster back and took a picture of you with your once confiscated poster. And this was the day that we were informed in no uncertain terms that the late kick and everything associated with it had been banned on College Game Day and any other ESPN property. So I thought to myself, self, we've already gotten what we wanted out of this. What should we do? So Director Colin and I, we convened the next morning when I got back in town from wherever I had been. And we decided, you know what? Let's reach out. Let's be adults about this. Let's reach across the aisle. And let's call a spade a spade. Let's just issue a truce as long as they'll acknowledge us. I knew in my heart of hearts that they cannot acknowledge us. That would be foolish on their part. But friend of the program, Kirk Herbstreit, did reach out to us at the 11th hour, and he did acknowledge us, and he said, hey, love what you're doing. What in the world's happening? I didn't know anything about this. And so we called the dogs off for now. And I cannot control, like I said, what our audience does this year. I will say maybe we'll incentivize some other kind of behavior so that we don't get banned from another show. We didn't even mess with Big Noon Kickoff, so it was just a College Game Day thing. But yeah, we got banned from College Game Day. Now, I grew up watching College Game Day, so if you ever told little JP that he was going to be banned from College Game Day, I would have cried. I can't tell you I didn't cry this past year when we got banned, but maybe a tear of joy this time around. So that's the story of how you, more so than I, got us banned from College Game Day. Are you ashamed? I'm not either.